intense. They are funny, aren't they? Okay. We all spoke the same, it'd be pretty boring.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tonight, you've got one cheese. Is everybody okay with blue cheeses? Not really.
Yeah, I'm
Would
okay.
you like me to give you an assortment of other cheese?
Yes, he would. He's
Yeah.
not going to tell you that, but that's what he
Yeah, I'll give you another cheese.
Okay.
And then we'll all grab it from him as well.
But you should
taste it.
you should taste this.
Okay, I'll do that too.
This one is one of the strongest blue cheeses. That was Stilton.
He'll die.
It's Roquefort.
Oh, I love it.
I
Wonderful.
love it.
So
Roquefort's lovely.
from the Black Mountains, from Roquefort, and it's insured in the Kabaloo Caves there.
They put in the cave, don't they?
Yeah. And first that times really, the mountain caved in and it cracked the mountain, and now there's this sort of natural vent that runs through the mountain and out into a cavern where they actually mature the cheeses.
Wow.
It has to be from Roquefort to be called Roquefort, and it's an extremely strong, salty, brittle cheese, which is just lovely, a little overpowering at times, but it is a lovely cheese. Quite interesting how they make the mould. Does anyone know how they make the mould?
It was, isn't it? That way, or is it the...
No, they do now, but how they actually make the mould actually comes from Penicillin and Roquefort here. It comes from the soil in the cave. So what they do is they put rye and wheat bread into the cave, and they leave it for 6 weeks until the mould consumes the bread, and they take the bread away and turn it into a powder, and that's how they still do it. They've done it since the beginning, and they still use that process.
And then they mix that into the cheese and
Then
let
they
it grow
inject it.
in the cheese.
They inject it. It goes in. They sort of put a rod in, or a needle, and it releases the spore. It just spores, basically,
You
and
don't need much.
multiplies.
But then does it have time to grow in the cheese before the cheese is, like, does it,
They add it.
is that the powder?
They put, yes. Well, the powder they make, then they put white cheese, so it'd be like this, but completely white. And then they go in, it's 90% humidity. It's very, 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 very humid. And they put a needle in, which is hollow, that has the powder in it. And when they put it in and pull it back out, it leaves the mold in and
Okay,
it
that's what I'm
spores.
saying. Then it doesn't grow in the cheese after that. That's the finished product
No,
right
it
there.
grows within the cheese.
Oh,
from
that's
that.
what I'm asking. That
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
starts it.
So it gets darker and darker as the mold grows.
Oh,
So
okay.
it can get a lot darker than this.
So does it
But,
get
Let's forget about it.
It's getting there.
a coating, a skim or coating over it or not?
No,
It doesn't.
no, it doesn't. No.
It doesn't go any, just
No,
develops
so-
inside.
Yeah, no, it's the outside of the cheese. Yeah.
Is it me, or is there a different colouring? There's a lighter layer and at the bottom centimetre.
No, I
It's
think
a creamier colour by my book, or is that the reflection from the
I think
the
there's just
word?
less mold down there. But very observant. I don't think so though. I think it's just...
So it was
there's less
rye and bread
There's a line.
that they grow the mold on? Rye and bread?
I'll just quickly introduce the wine that goes with it.
Or did
so
you say rye and bread?
rye and wheat bread.
Rye and wheat bread.
The bread, so they'll put bread into the caves, just put them on the ground, and the mold comes up through the soil
Cool.
and consumes it. Yeah, that's how they discovered it. That's how they
Some of the
left some cheese in the
Australians got it
cave.
to eat it.
Somebody took their bread sandwiches to work.
No,
Don't be
the
too
story
practical.
goes it was a shepherd, and he saw a girl he liked, so he ran after her and left his sandwich in there.
That's
And
a
it
clever
came back
marketing
a couple
ploy.
of days later, and his cheese
It
was
could have
finished.
been right too.
Well, that's how the legend
We
goes.
don't know.
Um,
We'll never know.
And to accompany the Roquefort is a local musca, or sweet wine, made from the musca grape from Minervois. It's not a late harvest, and it's not particularly as sweet as some of the sweet wines of Switzerland. It's not too sweet. It's made by they basically stop the fermentation early. There's two ways of making sweet wine. You either pick the grapes late, or you stop fermentation. So they add eau de vie, which is the first cheese I gave you, the goat's cheese. They dipped it in eau de vie, the alcohol. So they add that to the fermentation process, kills the yeast, and leaves the sugar in the wine.
Wow.
It leaves a lovely, grapey. Basically, Musca is very grapey grape. So it's lovely and sweet. With the Roquefort together, if you put the Roquefort in your mouth and sip Musca through it, it's just unreal. It's lovely. And what would you like? Would you like a creamy cheese or a hard cheese?
Creamy. Sounds good.
Done.
Would you like her to pop that in